Alright, so let's jump to my off-road map. And like I said, this is a shared map too, but completely changed by me. And I'll show you guys later that on maybe a different video. But for now, let's take this thing for a drive and see what you guys think. Okay, well, the front suspension is sagging for some reason. We'll ignore that for right now. That's fixable. It's supposed to be sitting where the rear is at. But anyways, there's the pivot of the steering. And now it's fine. Okay. Well, anyways. So as I was saying, you can sit and park, rev up the engine. I'll show you the shift. This is the first person view. You can lock the first person view using R3. And it allows, you literally locks your camera in place. But anyways, so here's your shifter, your transmission shifter, and then so if we go to neutral, we're able to shift into 4 high, 4 low, and 2 high, of course. So there's those, and then we also have an e-brake. If you didn't see that, the pedals move for brake and for throttle. Steering wheel moves. Might need to turn down that steering a little bit. Seems a little fast. But you have your first person view. You have looking out window of first person. So you're able to see obstacles on your side. You have a hood view, a bumper view, a chassis view, front axle view, rear axle view, and back to normal. If you do want to go straight back to normal, you hold R1, and then it resets it. Some parts of this has to be voiced over because it's too quiet, so I'm apologizing for that now. The vehicle is just too loud for the speaker to pick up my voice pretty loud, so this has to be done. With that being said, let's take this thing for a drive. We'll do two-wheel drive first off. It may look like the suspension is pretty floppy, but that's how rock crawler suspension is. It's meant to be really soft. This vehicle does have a pretty high top speed, honestly. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 65. It's way too high for what it is, but it makes it easier for putting together a less capable vehicle. And right here you can see the open diff working when one tire is spinning and the other one isn't. But if we lock it, completely changes it. Has a lot more traction. Look at that suspension just work. So nice. All that kind of stuff. So we'll put it in 4 high. So we'll put it in 4 high now and see how this thing drives. You guys can tell me what you think. So in 2 high and 4 high, the speed and torque of the vehicle changes drastically. There's a lot less torque. Oh man, I'm gonna hit this way too hard. Oh. But yeah, at high speed it does bumps pretty good. I mean, it could do better, honestly, but the game's physics have a hard time with it. It struggles on turning a little bit as well at high speed. But the way to change that is you adjust you put a rotator on the vehicle and rotate it. I haven't done that yet. But let's go to first person, and we gotta lock this so the camera stays where it's going to keep it easy to drive. But if you listen close, you can hear all the sound effects of the suspension, the rocks and debris hitting the vehicle, flying off the tires. Oh man. Well, that's okay. You got to hear the crash sound for rubbing across the ground. So, like I said, you also have a HUD, which allows you to see all the stuff that you have on or off, from your speedo to your transmission to your transfer case to damage on off to your lockers on off. So we'll put it in 4 low. So going and just accelerating in 4-wheel drive, as you know, low range doesn't have a very high velocity. It should shift. So this thing's slow crawl is pretty nice. It honestly does very well. I made it so it does have an idle effect. So it will just idle forward. I'm not on the gas at all right now. It's just idling. So it has enough torque that it can start pulling you up a obstacle, sorry. And it's pretty strong. It can handle it. And here you can see the tire compression, I guess. Deformation. You can see a little bit of the tire poking out to give it that low tire pressure look. I mean, from this angle it's pretty obvious it's just not rotating with the tire, but from other angles it looks pretty good. The squish from the tire and the squishiness setting make it so the going on bumps is a lot smoother. Without that, it would be pretty tough. Oh man, I'm stuck on my diff. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. Okay, but as you can see, but yeah, these are pretty big bumps for how big the tires are. The way I built it, they're 42-inch tires compared to a regular figure in the game. That was my size comparison to the game, and seemed to have worked. So the drive shaft and all the axle shafts, U-joints, everything rotates the way it should. The rear drive shaft, front drive shaft, they both rotate the way they should. Back to third person view. I mean, look at that suspension travel. That's pretty nice. Wait until I fully flex this thing out. It's pretty sick. This thing's meant to be the best in this game. So up here is my rock garden. But I do like things to be So, pretty big boulders, really slow crawl. Just got to be patient, otherwise you're going to damage shit.
Without this tire compression and deformation.
But yeah, you can see the tire deformation really taking some of that pressure off of that chassis. Oh, I'm stuck on my front diff. Hang on.
So we'll turn on damage now. So either I can take my drive shafts or my...
Man, I am not driving very good right now. But it's taking this pretty smooth, honestly, all things considered. That suspension's working wonders, and the tire deformation is working great too. It's super easy to get stuck on your front and rear diffs on these big boulder fields.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but I just hit my front and rear drive shaft on that rock. I made it so it's supposed to do in the controller and in game. So it's a pretty vicious sound effect. But when it breaks, it's even worse.
Alright, so let's break the front tie rod. It takes about 10 hits, so I'll speed this up.
Yeah, I turned it up higher. Oh, there it goes. It broke.
There it goes, it broke. So, it's supposed to drop the tie rod after it breaks, but now I have no steering control because it broke the tie rod. Nothing's holding those tires straight anymore. You can see the wobble of the two tires. They're able to just flop around. So we'll take it back. But there's that. There's a little test drive. Now we'll do an actual legit crawl and see what you guys think of how it works. So we'll treat it like real life. Power band. Once you get up and go, oh my gosh. So with how heavy you have to make the tires so they don't flop around, two-wheel drive honestly sucks. I'm trying to find a way to make it better, but it really just can't compete like real life two-wheel drive. It sucks way worse than it really would in real life.
Not a lot I can do.
Like, it's obvious I would be able to do part of this in two-wheel drive.
Higher gears, I don't have nearly as much torque coming out of those tires. But in low range, it has plenty of torque. All these rocks are going to be replaced. I'm not happy with them. Swap them out. But they work for now. This is by far the hardest trail, and it takes like 45 minutes to complete it properly. And that's with like 5 mess ups on my end. I don't think I can do this trail without messing up. It's pretty difficult. I've taken a couple of Cassianato's builds up this. It's rough on them too. how everything works. Because I want to show this map later. So you heard that the tires were struggling with traction. Gave it a tire squeal every now and again, as well as spinning rocks. Get in the first person view for a second, listen to the sound effects, and how it all feels. I love driving this thing in first person. I feel so awesome in it. It makes me happy.
So right here I'm going to give you a little demonstration on open diff and lockers. So see how I'm struggling to get traction? One tire is spinning faster than the other. Let's lock them and see how easy it just crawls up stuff.
See the complete difference in traction.
Front and rear are both locked. It doesn't even matter. It just walks right through the obstacle. It has no issues and just goes.
I try and drive without the lockers on to test myself, test the vehicle itself.
Okay, Rock. That's not... Well, this is one of those reasons why I'm probably going to be getting rid of these little brown rocks and swapping them out with something a little better. They aren't touching the ground and they kind of are floating, and then they grab onto the vehicle and make it glitch. It'll be better. Turn off the walkers when we get up here to this obstacle to give you an idea of how it actually works. Oh, I hit my front drive shaft, okay. I don't know why my brakes are not working the way they're supposed to. I have no clue. So we'll change it back to open diff, front and rear. Okay, so we'll try open diff first. For some reason my lock brake isn't working. I'll have to figure that out. But it's making it impossible to do bumps. So I can't do this in open diff like I would before. Like it would in real life. Oh, it's right there. So let's lock the front and rear because I can't make it in open diff. Oh! There it goes. Not being able to bump is really hindering me. But there you have it. Let's roll this thing over so you can hear the explosion of the engine.
Right, the front locker's not working.
I mean, that works.
That's why. Oh.
And it's dead.
Engine is gone. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope you really enjoy this vehicle. I love it. I'm going to be posting it online, probably not too remixed. But I will let it be spawnable. And you can drive it and stuff like that. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm pretty happy with how far it's gotten. Dreams is definitely a hard game to learn, but once you do, you can make one hell of a freaking... You can make a lot of shit. Let's just put it that way. You can make a lot of stuff. It's awesome. Thanks, guys. You're awesome.